Man, things are starting to get really interesting right now. You can just feel that the team is finally putting the right pieces together and thinking long-term instead of just patching holes. There's a clear plan forming, and honestly, it feels like we're getting closer to something solid instead of the usual uncertainty. So let's get to the analysis, but first click the like button, and if you've been a fan for more than 20 years, write in the comments, "Go Bears!" The Chicago Bears have made a decisive move that signals exactly where this franchise is heading, locking in Darnell Wright by officially exercising his fifth-year option, securing him through the 2027 season. This isn't just a routine front office decision. It's the first real step in what looks like a long-term commitment to one of the most important pillars of this roster. Right now, Wright is effectively tied to a 2-year deal worth around $26 million, but the bigger picture is already unfolding behind the scenes. What the Bears are doing here is setting up flexibility. By picking up the option, they now have the ability to negotiate an extension that could stretch 3 or 4 additional years, allowing them to spread cap hits over a longer window. That's how modern contenders build stability, and it's clear the front office led by Ryan Poles is following that exact blueprint. If a deal comes together in the range of $28 to $30 million per year, potentially totaling around $120 million, Wright could soon be sitting among the highest-paid offensive tackles in the league. And honestly, based on what we saw last season, that conversation isn't exaggerated. Wright's development has been steady but undeniable. He came into the league solid, improved in year 2, and then in year 3, everything clicked. Early struggles with penalties and adapting to a new system were visible, but by mid-season, he cleaned it up and elevated his play to another level. There's a real argument that he performed at an all-pro level, and more importantly, he became reliable, something every elite offensive line needs. Think back to draft night when the Bears passed on other high-profile prospects and took Wright. At the time, it wasn't universally praised, but now it's looking like one of the defining decisions of this rebuild. Locking down a cornerstone right tackle gives this offense a foundation, especially with some lingering uncertainty on the left side. Having that kind of stability is critical when you're building around a young quarterback like Caleb Williams. And speaking of Williams, the energy around Hollis Hall is shifting. New addition Kobe Bryant has already made it clear that even without taking a single practice rep, he can feel the quarterback's leadership presence. That's not something you hear every day from a veteran who's been in the league for years. There's a belief forming inside that locker room that this team is building something real, something sustainable. At the same time, veteran voices like Cole Kmet are reinforcing the mindset. The message is simple. Last season means nothing now. In the NFL, turnover is constant, and if the Bears don't reset and outwork everyone again, they risk falling behind. That urgency is being echoed across the roster, and it's exactly what you want to hear from players who have tasted progress but aren't satisfied. Then there's the arrival of Garrett Bradbury, stepping into a crucial role at center. His early connection with Williams is already developing, and that relationship will be one of the most important factors in how this offense performs. We saw last year how vital that chemistry can be, and the Bears are clearly prioritizing it again. All of this points to a team that isn't just making moves, but making calculated decisions with a clear structure in mind. Extending Wright, building around Williams, reinforcing leadership in the locker room, it's all connected. The Bears aren't just reacting anymore, they're planning ahead with intent. So now it comes down to timing. Do the Bears push to finalize a long-term extension for Darnell Wright before the season starts? Or do they let it play out a bit longer and risk the price going even higher if he takes another leap? What do you think is the right move here? And the deeper you look into this situation, the clearer it becomes that this is not just about locking in Darnell Wright. It's about setting the tone for the entire offensive identity moving forward. When you invest heavily in a right tackle like this, you're sending a message that protecting your quarterback and establishing consistency in the trenches is the absolute priority. And for a young passer like Caleb Williams, that could be the difference between a good season and a breakout year. What's fascinating here is how everything is lining up at the same time. You've got a front office led by Ryan Poles that is clearly thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead, not just reacting to what's happening now. By structuring a potential extension in a way that spreads cap hits over 5 or 6 years, the Bears can stay aggressive in free agency, keep their core together, and still have room to adjust when needed. That's how teams stay competitive year after year, not just for one window. Inside the locker room, there's also a noticeable shift in mentality. When Cole Kmet talks about resetting expectations and understanding how quickly things can change in the NFL, that reflects a team that has matured. They're no longer just hoping to compete, they're expecting to. And that expectation is being reinforced by new voices like Kobe Bryant, who is already embracing both leadership and mentorship roles before even playing a down for Chicago. Then you add in Garrett Bradbury, stepping into one of the most critical positions on the offense. His connection with Williams will be under the microscope from day one, because we've seen how much that center-quarterback relationship can impact everything from protection calls to overall rhythm. The Bears clearly didn't hesitate after losing their previous option, quickly pivoting to a veteran who understands how to guide a young quarterback. And this is where everything ties back to right again. Because if you truly have stability at right tackle, if your center and quarterback are building chemistry, and if your locker room is aligned with the same mindset, then suddenly this offense has a real chance to take a significant leap. Not just incremental improvement, but a noticeable jump into one of the more balanced and dangerous units in the conference. The timing is also critical. With the draft right around the corner, the Bears could still add more pieces, especially on the offensive line or at skill positions. And if that happens, it only strengthens the case for getting Wright's extension done sooner rather than later. Because the longer you wait, the more expensive elite talent becomes, especially at premium positions like offensive tackle. So what we're watching right now is a franchise carefully putting together the foundation of something that could last for years. It's not just about one player, one contract, or one season. It's about building a structure where players develop, leadership grows, and the team doesn't have to reset every 2 years. Now, I want to hear from you, because this is where the conversation really matters. Do you think the Bears should lock in Darnell Wright immediately with a massive extension, or would you wait one more season to see if he elevates his game even further? And if you've made it this far, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Leave your like, because it really helps the video reach more Bears fans. And don't forget to click on the video that's on your screen right now. That's where you'll stay updated with everything happening in Chicago. All the latest news, analysis, and behind-the-scenes insights. If you want to stay ahead of every move the Bears make, this is the place to be.